Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Welcome to Taco Tuesdays with my fabulous co-host, David from Tarot by the Bay, and
I
Gary.
feel fabulous.
Fabulous. Absolutely.
Fabulous. You know what would make Gary fabulous? If
What?
he had like some really colorful glasses.
So, did you actually find the same blue, or did you find a like shade?
I got these frames 2 years ago, and then last year I had frames, and I just got the same frames because I liked them, and so I had a pair that I was going to bring to work and a pair for home. And then at some point we were cleaning up around the house, and my what I would call my backup pair got put into a drawer. And then I did it, not a drawer I would normally put them in. And so when I broke my other ones, I went looking for these. It's like I thought I had a second pair and I couldn't find them anywhere around the house. So then I started trying to find them on the internet, which got me this frame, but instead of them being kind of a royal blue, they're more of a darker matte blue, which is not the wild, vibrant colors that the Sally Jesse Raphaels of the world would
Yeah.
would want.
And you are a wild and crazy.
Crazy guy. Our hair is now finally the same color as Steve Martin's.
Yeah,
There you go.
I love Martin Short's line about Steve Martin. It's like you've looked like you were 70 since you were 30.
Yeah.
That's why he's aged so well, because he's always looked like he was 70.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he has. He has. So, what's been happening with you guys? Anything going on in the US that we should know about?
People, let's see. Pete Hegseth was put through the ringer today at the Senate the Armed Services Committee, and boy, oh boy, does that guy exude toxic masculinity, if not hyper masculinity, might be a nicer way to put it.
Absolutely.
This week, if this is the week, you know what? If all hell is going to break loose in the U.S., this is the week it's going to happen.
Yes.
I did watch a TikTok. Somebody was saying that Trump has to attend a meeting tomorrow with the intelligence services, I think, regarding the report on election interference. I couldn't find anything in Google that backed that up. So, take that with a grain of salt.
Yes.
But again, even though Gary and I have done readings that were saying, will election interference be revealed and that prevents Trump from going into office? There's still a lot of stuff setting itself up for Trump not getting in. Not the least of which, Trump setting up a rally or like a victory celebration dinner on the 19th. Yeah. Nobody has ever felt the need to set up a victory celebration dinner the day before the inauguration.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could be something as simple as a grift and try to get people up there.
Well, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
But it's also, by that point, he will know if he's getting in or not. Mm-hmm. And he probably if he's not getting in, he probably wants a cadre of supporters there to cause problems.
Yes. Yeah, that is, it's funny. Yeah, because I kind of thought the same thing. Oh, okay. So he wants him there the night before because he knows really nobody is going to show up at his quote unquote inauguration. So it's a case of, well, you're here on the 19th. You might as well stay the extra day. Come on over. I'll get you tickets. I can get you in, right? So yeah, I thought that's exactly what it is. That's, kind of what you would expect him to do. I don't, it's funny. I did a video for my members about the week ahead. And for some reason, I decided that I was going to start off with the Kipper. I don't you don't see me reading the Kipper an awful lot, but it felt like that's what I needed to do.
What is the
And
Kipper?
the
It's a very small fish.
It's Yom
yes.
Kippur.
No, this
Ah,
the Kipper. It's kind of like the Lenormand.
okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Lemoran deck, Gary, is kind of like tarot, but it has very specific meanings. It's not an interpretive deck.
Okay.
Yes.
If you wanted a deck that said, "Tell me what the answer is," the Lemore deck is the one that's going to give you the answer.
That's the deck I'm looking for.
Yeah, Lenormand is really good for that. So I take out the Kipper cards and I put them out, and it was like, oh, holy shit. And that's what I said to the members. Folks, it's starting this week, because the cards that I got were basically talking about. Oh, okay, hold on. I can tell you, because anytime when I do one of those, I always mark down the cards that come out. That way I can go back after the fact and look. Okay, so I started off with the Lovers, Family Room, Official Person, Thief, High Honor, Mature Man, Thoughts, Adjudication, Main Female, and Despair.
Well, the lovers in the living room's got to be JD Vance, right?
Well, yeah, he's very comfortable with that. So when I looked at that, I thought, oh my God, okay, it's the agreements that were made to steal something on behalf of um, the mature man, to bring him that high honor, is going to be revealed by an official person, and there's going to be law involved, and so on and so forth, and it ends with him being in despair. And then I thought, okay, all right, so I kind of did that little reading, and I pulled out the tarot, and I said, okay, very quickly, I'm just going to ask, is this the week that things start to come out and we find out what is going on? I pulled 4 cards: Ace of Pentacles, Devil, Hierophant, and Emperor.
Oh.
Wow.
And I went, yes.
It seems like a yes. A couple folks say that your mic is just a little bit low relative to mine and Gary's booming voices.
Yes.
Well, all right, then I'll see if I can't turn it up a little.
Marina, did you guys have drag races in Canada growing up? That maybe the drag races were happening on Sunday? Sunday.
There might have been. There
Might
might.
Okay.
I am neither going to confirm nor deny. Okay. But,
It's true.
yeah.
Sounds like
So,
my microphone needs to be turned down a little bit here. Okay.
so by the way, thank
Yes.
you everyone for joining us. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And then please go over and visit David and Gary's channels and make sure that you do the same thing over there. If you're interested in booking a reading, get in touch with me, and I can certainly set that up for you. Or the other thing that you could do is you go to my website, right, marinasheartcentertarot.com, and you can book yourself a reading right from there. You can pay for it right from there. It's all good. It's all good. So, and someone wanted to know if I was on the East Coast. No, I'm in Alberta, and I apologize to all. So, yes, yeah. Danielle Smith is my premier. Feel sorry for me. In fact, you know what? That's a good reason why you should subscribe to the channel, to get my numbers up, so that maybe I will start earning enough income that I don't have to maybe I can look at moving to another province. Just
Would you go to Ontario or British Columbia?
probably British Columbia, or you know what? I would go back to Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Because it's so beautiful. It really is over there. Yeah. So there. Hello, Sherry Voices from the Swamp. And as I said, thank you, each and every one of you. We're starting to get a lot more people here, so I can't say hello to each and every one of you, but yes.
But she can say, hey, let's hit the thumbs up. Woohoo!
Yes.
Thumbs up. I can't hit it here. I'll just give a thumbs up.
Absolutely. And you know what? I had actually, Gary, I did have someone leave a comment on one of the videos I did recently that said, you really should start telling people to hit the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I don't do that enough.
Shameless plugs.
Yes. Yeah. Shameless plugs. And speaking of shameless plugs, before we go any further, Saturday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me and my co-host, Sherry of Trancing with Spirit. This is going to be the 3rd edition of Shine Your Light. We've got some great people that are going to be coming. And look, if you're interested, you can get your own Shine Your Light t-shirt merchandise.
Good merch.
Exactly.
And where do you go for that? I'm going to tell you here in just a second. Here we go. There you go. Right there. And you can also find that link on my YouTube page. If you go into the more section or about me section, you'll see it on there. You can go over there. You can get that. You can also get some Taco Tuesday merchandise.
Ooh.
And some other merchandise. So,
can you just get tacos?
No, not.
I think if you sold tacos,
I think you're right about that. I may have to look into it.
Tarot reading's a hungry business. Nothing a couple of tacos won't help.
Yeah. And it's a great event. And yeah, like Rose Blue says, turn on a porch light or a battery candle in the window at 7 p.m. in your local time zone. And we hope we can light up North America and then the world after that. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get to some readings. So yeah, the first one that I thought that we would take a look at, which was kind of it was fun to read on. Apparently, Michelle Obama said, "I don't think I'll be going to the inauguration. I think I'll take a pass. I'm probably washing my hair or doing my nails or something like that." So my question with that is, how are a lot of Americans going to view that? Are they going to see it as maybe something being disrespectful, or are they going to see it and go, good on you, Michelle. Good on you.
It's funny. We're chatting a little bit about things aligning for Trump not getting in. This would just be yet another one. Why would I make plans to fly out to Washington, D.C. for something I know is not going to happen? I don't need to keep up appearances.
Exactly.
But how is America going to view Michelle Obama not showing up? There's my Kamala Harris card. It's a burden. Decisions need to be made. It's almost like it's not going to matter. Okay, if I was just looking at it, she's in Hawaii. She's partying up. She doesn't want to come up here. It's a pain in the ass to go over there. She's enjoying the Sunshine State. There's your Hawaiian rainbow right there. And things coming. I think, generally speaking, the right is going to look at it like she's out there drinking, boozing it up. She doesn't want to come in here and do her duty, so on and so forth. Pretty much, if it was anybody else, the side of Hillary Clinton, they wouldn't care. It wouldn't even be newsworthy. If Jill Biden didn't show up, it wouldn't even be newsworthy. It's only newsworthy because it's Michelle Obama. I really do wonder if she's not showing up because of other things going on. But let's just say it looks like she's in Hawaii. She's having a good time and doesn't want to come back and deal with the winter stuff. And yeah, she was a first lady, but it'd be more newsworthy if Barack Obama didn't show up.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? They were not very kind to her as a first lady. They were very rude. They not only to her, but to her girls as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's not obligated. This is a tradition.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's not. No, she doesn't want to be part of it. She has with the hermit. She has taken some time to think about it. She's decided where it is that she wants to focus her attention. And no, she's not coming in for the tower moment. She's no. So you could be right, David. Maybe she knows something that, why bother? It's a non-event. Right?
And Debbie was asking if she should have gone to Carter's funeral. But and I was thinking, yeah, I'm surprised she didn't go. But I think it's also, and I was going to ask, I should do a little for Carter. Did she give up Donald Trump for Lent? Basically, it's like, I think everything that he's done, she is so over this guy that, am I going to have to sit next to that guy? Yes, I ain't going then. Screw, yes. You're the ex-president. You go. I'm done with this. I am not spending any more time with that fool than I need to.
That's kind of what I got on my cards. Actually, was
good.
Sorry, I left my deck at Dave's house, so my cards are like. So I got the Foundation of the Seven of Swords.
He's got the cheater deck.
So I got the Foundation of the Seven of Swords. Hey man, he's been cheating since I've known him. He's just, he's not someone you trust. I just want this thing to be over and done with. I'm so done with this guy. He acts like a fool. He is basically, it's almost like stolen election, and he's insulting the democracy. And I just got better things going on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm washing my hair. I'm doing my nails.
I think it really just comes down to, like Dave said, she's just like, you know what, I don't, if I don't have to be there, I ain't going there.
Yeah, I got this vibe, like I want to hang out with the people I want to hang out with. It's like a New Year's resolution. I'm doing it for my mental health. I'll be there for people, and again, sorry I missed the funeral type thing, but literally it's kind of like life is so short. Why would I want to spend it with people that bring me down?
Yes, absolutely.
And like Marina said, over the years, they have not been kind to her.
No, they're just jerks to her.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so she's like, she just noped her way out of it.
Yeah. Totally. Yes. And Kimberly says Michelle knew the sitting protocol and refused to sit next to him. You know what? I don't blame her. It's enough that, that her husband had to be there. Yeah. She didn't
Charmaine, the answer is yes.
Yes. So there was also a little bit of a rumor that was going around that was debunked by
rumors. I like rumors.
Yeah, folks or whatever, that said that Kamala Harris was not going to be attending the inauguration, but that was just, yeah, when I looked it up, yeah, it was on Scopes, and it said, no, that's,
I guess they couldn't get their black women straight, huh?
I guess not. Oh, and Angie 2343, is tarot occult or demonic? Neither. But thank you for asking. Okay, so I did also want to take a look at, yeah, Pete Hegseth, whatever, because he is so totally out of his depth in such a position. And he mentioned that yet Trump told him that he needed to have a warrior in that position, and so on. Do you think he makes it? I have a feeling that there's going to be a couple Republicans that are not going to vote for him, and they can't afford to lose too many. The margin there is so razor thin. Yeah. And yes, Leanne, he promised to quit drinking if he gets in. Oh, well, he promised. Yeah, I mean, he's going to go through. Right? Says every alcoholic that gets up with a hangover is, I'm never touching that stuff again, right? Yeah.
It's funny. That's actually the subject of the video I recorded just before I jumped on here, and I was curious to see how the cards were going to come up, and some similar ones came up. For Hegseth, with this one, yep, there's your drinking problem right there. And, world, I'm going to stop drinking, and show the strength, and it's part of the plan. Now, here's the thing, and I had said this in my video. This is the type of thing you do before you get nominated. You give up drinking, hopefully for a couple of years. Now, obviously, Pete Hegseth had no idea that he was going to be tapped to be the Secretary of Defense, because there ain't nobody on the planet this side of Donald Trump who would do something like that. And so why get your drinking in order if it doesn't impact his lifestyle? And now if he wants this position, he has to promise this. Honestly, and he's got two problems. He's got a drinking problem. He's got a woman problem.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, if you commit adultery in the military, that's a court-martial offense.
Yes, it is.
And I don't understand why that's not immediately disqualifying on this. My logical brain says that is immediately disqualifying, just like Amy Coney Barrett should never have been a Supreme Court justice when she can't name the parts of the First Amendment. There's like 5 sections that it protects, and she couldn't name 2 of the 5. And you're supposed to be ruling on the Constitution.
Yes.
Honestly, I think him promising to do that is going to be enough to get him through there. But he's going to need help from the Grand Vizier or the acting president or whatever you want to call Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to help get that one over the finish line, is my guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I get the King of Wands. So yeah, that would or no, sorry, the King of Swords. So yeah, that would I could see that as being Elon Musk, who's going to come in and fix things so that he can get into position, even though everybody knows that it's delusion, it's crazy thinking, right? There's things that are coming up about him that, not only the drinking and the womanizing, but how he feels about military personnel. There's been sexual assault allegations made against him.
Mhm.
He's not the kind.
Why would you put all your eggs in one basket for this guy?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing with Brett Kavanaugh when he was in trying to get
Yes.
him on the Supreme Court. It's like, couldn't you pick somebody a little less horrible than this guy?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Someone who doesn't have the documented history that this guy does,
Yeah.
even the comments that he's made and the things that he has said. The idea, oh well, no, this, and again, using some of the same words that Trump uses, right? Oh, this is a smear campaign. This
Yeah.
never happened. And when he was talking to one of the meetings that they had with the Republican group, and the name escapes me right now. When it was brought up in that group, he said, no, it was consensual. Well, is it a smear campaign or is it consensual? That's
Right.
two different things.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. What'd you get, Gary?
Well,
Yeah, Gary.
my cards are somewhat similar to Marina's and David's, actually. So the very tiny pictures. On the foundation, I got the King of Swords, which to me was the Senate asking him very pointed and direct questions about his history. The main clarifier was the Nine of Swords, the anxiety and the emotional duress that both sides are going through. The Queen of Pentacles is the one I might need a little help with. The Knight of Swords, they're just trying to rush this through.
Yep.
But the Queen of Pentacles, it's, if you take it that, hey, I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to stop drinking, I'm going to turn over a new leaf. If they believe that, he'll go through.
Yeah.
It could also be, the Pentacles. It might not be Elon Musk. There might be another donor out there that's got money to bring him in, and he'll get in. This is kind of the key card of the whole thing, defining what that is, because underneath it is the Ace of Wands. And is this Ace of Wands, hey, I'm going to turn over a new leaf and be a better man, or is this Ace of Wands like, don't let the door hit you in the butt, pal. We need someone else. We need a new candidate in here. My gut feeling is, Gary, the analyst kicking in, is that there are so many horrible candidates. It's kind of like voir dire. They don't want to, they have to save their voir dire for the really, really bad ones, and let some of these awful ones get in because they're not the worst of the worst.
Yes. It's almost like the closer you are to the things that Trump has been accused of or found guilty of, the bigger your chance of getting in.
Oh, he's always supporting people. He always supports men accused of rape.
Yes.
Always. And he always makes excuses for him.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Innocent Potato, Tammy Duckworth, she did. A lot of the Democrats, especially the women Democrats, said you are, this is not the position for you. You are nowhere qualified for this position. So,
and he isn't. But it's kind of like when you flood the zone with god awful candidates.
Yeah.
What this guy's claim to fame was he was in the military for X number of years, and he was a Fox TV host, as seen on TV. Now, that should not be the qualifications.
No, it shouldn't. And I think he was he part of the National Guard? Did he go there with the National Guard?
National Guard.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like you join the military because you were called to serve your country and all that. You're part of the National Guard. You get to play weekend warrior, and you just happen to be sent on deployment. So anyway, all righty. So Speaker Mike Johnson announced today that he has ordered that all the flags in the US capitals be raised to their full height on Inauguration Day.
That really happened, huh?
Yeah. And Trump, apparently, as of yesterday, was flying the flag at
Full staff at Mar-a-Lago.
full staff at Mar-a-Lago.
Of course,
So,
of course.
Well, there's no law against it. I mean, it's guidelines, right?
yes. Now, how this is terribly disrespectful to the person who is being mourned or celebrated during the 30 days. And it's a sleazy move.
Yeah.
It's a sleazy move. So I don't know if he actually has the power to make that decision.
Well, that was my first thought.
I would think the president would be trumping the head of Congress on this.
I
Yeah.
would think so. So yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
who's raising those flags? If it's the military raising those flags, doing a ceremony to raise the flag and lower the flag, the military's under the guidance of the commander in chief. So yeah, you can say all that crap you want, but is there any teeth into it?
Well, yeah, I think this may just be grandstanding on his part.
Sure.
Could be. Okay, so yeah, my question was, will he be overruled on this?
Where are my pearls? I need to clutch my pearls. It's just it's just sort of like, what a freaking crybaby!
I know.
You should be embarrassed that this even bothers you.
It's they're playing to Trump's insecurities, and yeah, they're just trying to appease the dancing monkey. Is what they're doing.
Yes.
What's the question again, Marina, for this?
Will he be overruled on?
Okay. Well, Johnson be yeah.
So if the U.S. wants Canada, does that mean that they want to aspire to have a parliamentarian type of government? If the U.S. wants Carol, don't worry about that. The U.S. is never going to get Canada, ever, ever. And I would just say, the U.S. tried something similar in 1812, and we burnt down your White House. I'm just saying. We came to Washington and we burnt down your White House. So yeah, don't.
Well, Canada had a better counteroffer, I thought.
Yes, absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
want to put it to a vote.
Yeah, you may have just inherited a few more states.
Uh-huh. Welcome. Welcome. Come on up and take advantage of that free health care.
Lots of swords in this one. Will he be overruled? There's a disappointment. I think this is going to be one of those things that there's going to be pushback from all three branches of government. Like, how can you do this? This is a tradition that shows the honoring and the value of a former president. You can't just make up rules on the spot and hope to quick change them. And I think there's going to be some backlash to this that makes this issue go away. Now, again, it could be that the inauguration doesn't happen so that the point is moot. But, to even posture to say you're going to do that is just, it's an embarrassment to the president-elect to have big feels about this. And it's an embarrassment that the Speaker of the House would actually even say something like that during a period of mourning for a previous president.
Exactly. And not only that, this is, I think that a lot of military people are going to take umbrage with
a dim view on this.
Dim view, absolutely. What do you get, Gary?
Yeah, Gary. Come on, Gary.
So
I like
I've
those
got
cards.
The foundation. I've got the Two of Wands. He's looking out into the future, and he's trying to make his decisions on he's making his political decisions, right? main clarifier is the Queen of Swords, which is basically, hey, you know what? The presidency's already, it's already come from the executive branch what's going to happen. So he's just trying to balance things with the red hats. To me, this is just posturing and show. He's trying to honor his agreements with Trump and the MAGA voters, and he's just, underneath it all is he's trying to acknowledge or honor Trump's quote unquote legacy. He's ignoring the legacy of Carter and in supporting Trump. That's kind of I guess that's what the balance is. The Two of Pentacles. It's like, do I support President Trump or do I support former President Carter?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just posturing.
Yeah, I think you're right. This was something. It was a quick decision made on his part. I don't think that he thought it through. He thought that he was going to be seen as, this is going to be about, uniting everyone, and we're all going to be, 10 of Cups. We're all going to be very, very happy and joyous and all that. That's not the way that it worked out. And I think that a lot of people are seeing that, this is the Seven of Wands. This is him stealing the part of the legacy, part of the tradition that goes with presidents passing and so on. It's more of the same, right? And at the bottom of the deck, I got the Fool. So no, I don't think anyone is really going to take him seriously.
It's in looking at it, ABC News had a story on it. The White House is saying they'll still be at half staff. Johnson says they'll be at full staff and then lowered again the following day. I suspect what might be going on, because, we normally don't have such levels of discord here, is that Johnson may actually get to say how the flags fly outside of Congress. But the president gets to say how the flags are going to fly pretty much on all the federal lands. Yeah. And then as Rose Blue, thank you very much for your kind donation, Rose. Yes, Blue was saying that Abbott says that they're going to fly at full staff in Texas. Yeah. Probably on the government buildings there. But I would imagine army bases, military bases would be at half staff.
Yes. Yeah. And Sandra Bender says, she would like Elizabeth May to explore the option of Cascadia. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I thought that her little speech was just masterful.
It had a lovely sprinkling of snark and sarcasm with it. Just mocking him just a bit. I got an ideal for you, Donald. How about this?
Yes. It was, I laughed. I really, really enjoyed her comments and what she said. So, yeah. Okay. Carrying on. President Biden has notified Congress that his intent to lift the U.S. designation of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. The White House announced, and this is part of a deal facilitated by the Catholic Church to free political prisoners on the island. Couple things. How do the Cubans react to this? And how do average Americans react to this? I think most Americans, the average American, Cuba was a long time ago, mm-hmm. Right? And most, I think, are you guys allowed to visit Cuba or no?
For the longest, most of our lives, we could not visit Cuba. I think you can make arrangements on it, but don't hold me to that because I've never had an interest in it. Now, I know that Canada can go visit it because friends I had in Canada used to vacation in Cuba all the time.
Yes.
And
Yep.
something to be said for that. And I know there was kind of a normalization of relations with Cuba. I thought in the 90s or the aughts or something along those lines, but things kind of froze up after that. I don't think there's other than maybe the exiles from Cuba that live in Florida, who've got a real sour taste for the Castro government that was over there. I think most other Americans, Cuba was, again, it was the Bay of Pigs, the 60s.
Yes.
Early mid 60s. It's 60 years ago. They don't remember it. Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
so the answer is yes, you can travel to Cuba, but you cannot go for tourism.
Oh, business only, huh?
Business only.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, that explains Michael Corleone then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. They had business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah. In terms of how do most Cubans react to this, I think that this is a good step forward. That they're saying, okay, we don't. Most of us that are alive today weren't really old enough to be part of what was happening back in the 60s or whatever. So, we weren't in bed with Russia at that point. It was something that Castro was doing. So I think that they're going to see this as something positive, as something that is going to provide them with a little more strength, and possibly even get them to with the Ace of Wands thinking about their future and what it is that they can envision for themselves. I also get Justice and the Two of Pentacles. So I think that for the most part, most Cubans are going to be quite happy with this. This is going to certainly be a bump in their economy.
That's kind of what I'm getting with this one. I was just looking at now who the leader of Cuba is. It's not Fidel Castro died a while ago, and I believe his cousin or his brother-in-law or somebody, like his first cousin, took over. But it sounds like he's not in charge either. So it's almost like when you've got Castro and his family out of power, there's an opportunity to go back to a happier time where there's an opportunity to make money, and it's going to happen quickly. Underneath it all, I think Cuba is kind of one of those places where, especially with tourism for the United States, I think that's what they're seeing is that, man, if we could get off this, we are going to make a bundle off of Americans coming to visit Cuba because not being able to do it for the last 60 years.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I think that they're going to see the economic benefit of that.
Yeah. It'll happen quick too. I mean,
yes,
if that comes on there, there's
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And now, Howard, are most Americans going to see this as being something positive? Yay, a new place to visit.
I would think so. I mean, it's been forbidden fruit for so long.
Yeah. We get our cigars. Okay, so the current leader is Miguel Diaz-Canel. He's the first non-Castro to lead Cuba. So what I've got, the foundation of the Six of Pentacles, it's kind of time to give back. We're gonna look at the big picture. The folks of Cuba, they're gonna start realizing some prosperity from this. It's a just thing to do.
Yes.
The main clarifier, it was kind of crazy that this went on as long as it did. What happened, God, is it 60 years ago almost? Over 50 years ago, what's done is done. We need to move past this. It's time to build a new relationship. And Biden's, he's also looking at his legacy too.
Yes.
That, hey, this is something that we can do to move our relationships forward. And that's part of his legacy. The thing is, Biden's been around such a long time. He has known most of these leaders of these countries, and he's probably met most of them, current and past. So he's probably still a pretty good judge of character and knows the history of what's been going on.
October 1962.
There you go. So yeah. Before we were born.
62 years.
Yeah, and don't forget too that if this is something that is intended to by lifting that sanction, that some of the political prisoners can be released.
Yeah, they can finally upgrade their cars too.
oh gosh, yeah.
Get some OEM parts.
Yes, yeah. I think that would be a good thing. Oops, my cards are flying all over the place. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh yes, okay. So apparently, Carrie Underwood is honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration.
Good for her.
And she will be. She will also be joined by the YMCA folks.
Village people.
Village people, yes. The village.
That's
people.
Surprising.
Yeah,
the village people are going to go, huh?
The village people are going to go. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and please, I'm not saying this with any disrespect at all, but were the village people not kind of one of the first
very openly gay performing artists?
Yes.
And actually, the Village People was basically the black singer. He was. I just watched a TikTok on this the other day, talking about music history. It was him. He was the Village People. And they said Village Person wasn't going to work real well. So in New York, at a gay bar, they started recruiting other guys for the band. And that's where they got the other 4 or 5 guys that danced behind him and sang with them. But the one black guy who dressed as a cop or a Navy person, he wrote the songs and sang the songs. So he was the creative force. The other guys were just yeah.
So who's going to tell Trump? Has anyone told him that these guys are gay? How is this going to square with some of the things that he has said about the LGBTQ community, and how Mega feel about the LGBTQ community? Is this going to be the one night that all bets are off, anything goes?
Well, what the head guy, what's his name? It's Victor Willis. Basically was saying that we know this won't make some of you happy to hear this. However, we believe that music is to be performed without regard to politics.
Yeah. Z Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would typically agree with you. Z Kyle. The problem is Z Kyle, the particular politics you're talking about are so extreme. That's like trying to say, it's okay to talk with Hitler. He's not such a bad guy for a killer. Just to steal a Hogan's Hero line for you.
Yeah, he gave some kids some candy.
It's okay to me. I get what he's saying, but it's okay to draw a line. I stopped. It used to be the easiest question in the world. Do you support Nazis? That was like a no-brainer type question. Apparently not anymore. So is the question, will the Village People be accepted by the celebrants at the Trump inauguration?
Yeah.
Gut feeling tells me yes, they'll be fine, because it's a party, and Trump and Elon like them, and they're just like, as long as they don't do none of that gay shit in front of me, that's fine.
You mean like wear the costumes and do the singing and dancing?
No, not that gay shit. No, kissing each other on the stage. Imagine if they all start making out on the stage. Oh, that would be hilarious if they actually did that.
Well,
talk about being the spy in the camp, which I did not get. What do you got, Gary?
So Willis was also quoted saying, "Our song YMCA is a global anthem that hopefully helps bring the country together after a tumultuous and divided campaign where our preferred candidate lost."
Stop normalizing fascism.
Yeah,
that's my message to him.
So what's the question here?
Well, will their performance go without a hitch? Will they be accepted and generally be loved?
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't need to throw cards on that.
Yeah.
I'll let my bias come right up to the top on that one.
Totally. No, you know what? This I get the 4 of Cups. I also get the 10 of Wands. This is, music and everything else aside, there's a principle involved, and you decided not to live your principles. So I think a lot of people would probably see it as they're not going to like it. The Trumpers aren't going to care because, if Trump likes singing and dancing to YMCA, then that's okay. But I think as a group, I think that I don't think it's going to have a positive effect. So, maybe it's a good thing they're older.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and just basically saying, they're going to come in there looking over their shoulders a little bit. Type of thing, but it's going to be something different than what is normally looked at, and I think that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to go in there and say, "Hey, look, you know what? We're just like you. We have integrity. Can you look the other way while we're giving this performance?" I think for one night they're going to be fine, and unlike Carrie Underwood, I don't think they're going to pay a commercial penalty with members on the left for performing there. You know what I mean? I don't think people are going to say, "Oh, screw it, I'm not listening to the Village People anymore," because let's face it, we don't listen to the Village People anymore. The Village People, when they come up and they play the YMCA, everybody is just doing the YMCA dance that goes with it because it's such.
Yes,
it's kind of beloved. You're tarnishing your reputation a bit. It'll be forgotten. Carrie Underwood, on the other hand, though, I'm sure MAGA will love her, and I'm sure that's exactly their style of music. I don't listen to Carrie Underwood. Is she country?
Country, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna love her. She's gonna sell more records with the right, and the Democrats probably don't listen to nearly as much country as the Republicans do. So she's just playing to her audience.
Yeah, I think this one, I think for her, the story is a little different in that she's an international star. She's young. She still has a lot of career ahead of her.
Yeah. It's a harder road for you when you start doing that. Yes. Now you're tied to him in history.
Yes, exactly. So no, I don't think that it is going to go over all that well for her.
I wonder if she's a Trumper.
I think she is. Let me
take a look real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it certainly helps if you're going to be performing at the inauguration, right?
Yeah.
So what I've got, Foundation King of Swords, Victor Willis is pretty much up front. It's just like, hey, you know what? Let's not let our emotions get in the way of this. It's a celebratory song. It's when we were growing up, and certainly the groups of the 60s and the 70s, no one wanted to be a sellout. You weren't going to sell your song for commercialism, whatnot. But let's face it, the Village People, these are not songs that have, it's not like Bridge Over Troubled Waters, for example. Yes. Okay, this is kind of it's kind of like junk food of music. It's enjoyable, it's fun, it's not meant to be taken seriously, and I think that's kind of what his messaging is. Let's not confuse this music for anything other than it's just fun and enjoy yourself type music. It's dance music, and if it's being played at Trump rallies, hey, maybe this will get it to a broader audience. A younger, maybe young people will start listening to this stuff. I don't know, or a new message being sent out about togetherness. But underneath it, I think he's just waiting for his financial ship to come in. I think this is kind of his opportunity to second wind to make some more money on this song.
Yeah. Stephanie, I think you called it. Yeah, first time YMCA have money since it came out. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. Okay.
She died. Bye-bye.
Bye. Now, our oops. Well, let me take that out of there.
Maria loves your soft focus.
Sorry?
You love your soft focus.
So,
Elon. So Dave, what was the Carrie Underwood answer?
It doesn't say, because all the stories are swamped with, well, she came out as MAGA. It's like, but I can't get anything that was what was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But that's the downside of Google.
Her politics might be private. She might not have endorsed anyone or whatnot. But I don't know. To me, if you're a serious artist and you're playing at a Trump rally, you're probably supportive of that cause. Yeah. Either that or you really need the money.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. I would say more in support of the cause. Yeah. So, Elon Musk apparently got a couple pieces of news today that were not really working out well for him.
Aww.
Yeah, I know, and it looks like it's going to cost him money.
Unfortunately, he's got plenty of that.
But the SEC, Securities Commission, is suing him, saying that he did not release the information that he was buying Twitter on time, that he had already apparently you are supposed to, whenever you own 5% of any stock, you are supposed to indicate that you own 5%. Well, he did just before he bought Twitter. And he didn't report it to the SEC. As a matter of fact, he waited until, I think they said 11 days after he was supposed to make the filing before he let that out. And by that point, he had already said he was buying Twitter and then tried to back out. So because there's the shareholders and the people who were involved in that deal, he by not disclosing how much of it he owned, he basically lowered the value, if I understand it correctly, lowered the value of Twitter or something. And anyway, so yeah, that's the SEC going after him, and he was in court appealing a decision that a judge had made, saying that his Tesla
compensation package,
was just too much, and it was tied to the stock and so on. And the judge made a decision saying, no, you can't do this. They appealed. And it went up in front of the same judge, who basically said, no, you can't do that. You're even if your shareholders agree 1,000% that you can pay yourself anything you want, no, because your value is tied to the value of the shares, and he was going to pay his lawyers with shares in Tesla. So they were asking not only for the case to for the judge to reverse herself and let the compensation package stand, but they were also asking for, I think it was something like $16 billion or $6 billion in legal fees. And she said, no, nice try, but no cigar.
Yeah.
So poor Elon. How is how's he feeling about that? Is he going to start crying witch hunt as well?
Insanity. I saw that today. There's a computer game called Diablo, and I'm curious what version of Diablo he was talking about, because I played Diablo 1 when it first came out in the 90s. And Elon was saying he was like a top 5 player of the world, or a top player of the world, and he can't even like chain his maps together, much less do basic maneuvers in the game. So it's like, dude, you don't tell everybody that you're. It's like saying you could drive a stick, and then they put you behind the wheel of a car with a stick, and you're like, okay, what do I do again now? Yeah. Nothing outs you worse. Yeah. I'm the best Formula One driver in the world, but I don't know how to drive a car with the stick.
Exactly.
Well, they don't have sticks in Formula One anymore.
Okay, and I'm a brilliant NASCAR driver. But I drive the automatic NASCARs.
Yeah.
The ones built in Japan.
Yeah. You know what? I think this one is going to cost him.
Yeah. I think Susie Suzuki said it was $350 million fine. Have they announced a fine?
I think the judge did, if I remember correctly. I think she did. I should have written it down. I didn't, but it was kind of one of the last things that I saw before we came on.
Under those terms, SEC sues Musk. He underpaid shares by at least $150 million. And something. I thought I saw a $22 million in the AI. I'm looking to see if I can find a fine in here. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I think that there was a penalty that was imposed, and for some reason, $355 million sounds familiar.
There, yeah. Okay, so what I got with going on with Elon? Judge has spoken, and there's more to come. That's coming on with Elon, where he's going to be paying money. Mm-hmm. He's got some big. I mean, 10 of Swords in the World card. Mm-hmm. There's more coming with Elon. This could just be one of those things. Yeah, you're going to pay a fine for Twitter, and we're also going to, between Twitter and the Tesla deal, this could end his career with Tesla. Mm-hmm. Do not be surprised if his career with Tesla is over, because Rocket Boy there spends more time running around acting like he owns the United States and playing with his rockets than actually managing the EV company that pays him billions of dollars in a salary package led by sycophants.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I got the world as well. And I start off with the Two of Pentacles, that weighing the options, seeing how things are going to go. It is going to fun, and I get the Ace of Pentacles. It is going to cost him a lot, and I don't know why, and I didn't see this in the cards, but I have a feeling that one of the things that that they might do in terms of imposing that penalty is if you don't pay it, what if they freeze his accounts?
Sure, they could probably just you could probably write a check for it. Here, let me give you a couple shares of stock here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. He's got all his wealth is tied up with the stock. So if he has to start selling shares of the stock, that starts decreasing the share values of the stock, because now people are thinking, oh, Elon's doesn't have as much confidence in the company, so they start selling, and you start getting yourself a slow downward spiral.
Exactly.
The more the stock goes down in value, the poorer he becomes.
Exactly. And I think I also read that the shares in Tesla did drop recently, or anyway, never mind. I'm getting tired, so my mind is kind of all over the place. What'd you get, Gary? You're being very quiet tonight. Are you okay?
Sorry, I'm fine. I'm doing a lot of listening. So a foundation, I got the nine of cups, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled, or as Dave and I like to see, the smug merchant. Hey, I don't think it bothers him, frankly, because I've got so much things of value. This doesn't bother me, but he's probably going to be seen as, once again, he's acting recklessly. And maybe the board members of Tesla are going to say, you know what, maybe it's time for a change. And they make him an offer and say, maybe you need to go find some other thing to do that doesn't involve electric vehicles. He's tired of Tesla.
He's bored.
He's bored.
He's got ADHD and he's bored with that. He's so bored with Tesla.
Yeah, he's over that. He wants to, he's got his boring company, building tunnels and things underground, and he's got his
dug one hole, not one hole.
I thought he was boring holes under Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Oh, ooh.
Like a mile and a half of it was basic. Yeah, I think the thing I saw on it was the mile and a half hole that he bored was way less efficient than just what buses would do with moving people.
Yeah, exactly. But he's got his boring company, and then he's got his his mission to Mars. That's what and of course taking over the world. So he's really kind of moved on from Tesla. So I would not be surprised. And I hadn't even considered this until Dave just mentioned it. It's like, yeah, you know what? They may just push him to the side and say, you know what, we got this. Yeah, you go play with your rocket ships and boring machine and go take over the world. We've got this here.
Could be.
They have a lot of Chinese EVs that they need to deal with.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Tesla. The biggest value of Tesla is the charging network.
Yeah,
that is their biggest asset. The quality of the chargers, the location of the chargers, the cars themselves. I think Tesla's not. I don't think that they're going to be around for the long haul unless they get bought out by another company. Because the mainstream makers and, like Dave was saying, the Chinese, the Chinese EVs are heavily
subsidized by the
Chinese government. So they're very affordable and they perform quite well. It's my understanding they're the real deal. And then the mainstream automakers are starting to catch up. They've got better quality and they're starting to figure out what the market really wants.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really going to come down to battery technology and being able to charge quickly and hold a charge in cold weather. Once you get those two things, then gasoline is going away. But Tesla's, I don't think they're on the cutting edge of battery technology anymore. I may be wrong on that.
Yeah,
Dave knows a lot more about this than I do.
Yeah, I haven't been following the battery tech.
But
Yeah,
Tesla's big value is their charging network.
I had a chance to in a drive-through to be behind one of the Tesla trucks.
Oh, the Cybertrucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. First and foremost, and then it was shortly after that I was watching something and it popped up on my feed about all the things they get stuck. They're they're well, in this particular video, it was a Ford truck that was pulling
Yeah.
the Tesla truck out of the sand and then out of the snow and then out of the mud. And the commentator was saying, this should be an ad for Ford, saying, yeah, we moved the Tesla out of the things that it can't do. But yeah, I honestly, I could not see anything pretty about that truck.
It's yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, listen, we are at 1 hour 10 minutes. We have gone a little over, but that's okay. That's okay. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wonderful. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. As I said, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out the YouTube page. Go over to David's Tarot by the Bay and Gary's Twin Tarot. Make sure that you do the like, share, and subscribe on their channels as well. All righty, guys, it's been a slice.
Indeed.
Yes, it has. All right, everyone. Take care. See you soon.
Have a good night, all.